Hello, today's our topic is medium transmission line calculation with T method. In a previous lecture we studied about N condenser method for the calculation of medium transmission line. Now this topic is based on chapter transmission line modeling and performance in subject power system 2 in semester 5th. Now in previous lecture we studied how we calculate from use with N condenser method. In this method we use a capacitance location at the receiving end of the transmission line as a lump. Now we see the medium transmission line calculation with the help of T method. First of all, we see the equivalent circuit of T method. Here we see that for N condenser method, the capacitance is lumped near the receiving end side, but in a T method, the capacitance is lumped at the midpoint of transmission line. We have seen in the figure, so that capacitance at the midpoint, so that a resistance and a reactance of transmission line will be half on both the side. So it look like a T type, T shape, so its name is T method. Now we see the equivalent circuit. Here is the sending end voltage Vs, a sending end current Is are passing through the 1/2 resistance R by 2 and XL by 2. Now Is current will be divided into two. One is a receiving end current and second one is an capacitive current IC, which is flowing in the capacitor, and the voltage of the capacitor which is V1 and voltage at the receiving end which is VR. In a previous method, the capacitance voltage is equal to the receiving end voltage because the capacitor is nearest to the receiving end side, but in T method the capacitance at the midpoint we assume that, so that a voltage is different and its value is V1. Now we see the phasor diagram for this equivalent circuit, and then we derive the calculation for the medium transmission line with the help of T method, and then we study some example based on the T method. Now here we see that a equivalent circuit of medium transmission line, and here is the phasor diagram for the medium transmission line, and here is some calculation regarding medium transmission line. First of all, we draw the phasor diagram. For drawing any phasor diagram, first we taken a reference value. Now in here in our method we taken VR as a reference. So VR is a reference. So here we draw from the origin point O, we draw the line VR here. Now after drawing a VR line, we know that an angle between voltage at receiving end and current at receiving end, which is called a power factor angle phi r. So we draw the line from the VR with the angle of phi r. Here we draw the line IR. VR, here is the angle phi r, and we draw the line IR. Now IR current complete. Now after IR, here we see that there is a two resistive drop in the circuit. One is before the capacitor and one is after the capacitor. One is nearest to the sending end and one is nearest to the receiving end. So in this impedance, current are flowing is sending end current In this impedance current are flowing is receiving end current. We know that if we want to draw a phasor diagram for any drop, first of all we have a value, we have a line of current. So parallel to line of current we draw the line resistance line, and parallel to and with the 90 angle we draw the line of reactance. So here first of all here is a VR voltage, and then two drop here, a resistive drop and inductive drop, a flowing current IR. So we draw the parallel line to the IR, which is called here, which is called a resistive drop, and with the 90 angle we draw the line which is called a inductive drop. So IR into R by 2 and IR into XL by 2, we draw both the line. Now resultant of this both the line, we get the value of IR Z by 2, which is the total impedance drop. So first we draw IR into R by 2, and then we draw IR into XL by 2, and resultant of this is IR into Z by 2. Now here we see that VR plus total voltage drop, which is equal to V1 voltage. So here VR plus total impedance drop, total voltage drop due to total impedance, which is equal to resultant V1. So we draw the line V1 here. Now here is a V1 voltage and here is a sending end voltage. Between them there is a drop due to R by 2 and XL by 2. So this drop is due to IS current. So IS into R by 2 and IS into XL by 2. So if we want to draw line here for the resistive and inductive drop, first of all we find the current IS, draw the line of current IS, then we parallelly draw the drop. So here we see that first we draw IR. Here we see that a current is divided, IS current is divided in two parts, IR and IC. IC which is an capacitive current, IC which is an capacitive current. So that a capacitive current which is a 90 leading with the voltage VR. So here we draw the line with the VR at 90 angle. Here we see here IC, and resultant of IC and IR which is IS. So we draw the line IS here. So here is the IS we drawn, and now due to current IS here is a 2 drop. So we draw line parallel to IS. One is IS into R by 2, and with the 90 angle we draw IS into XL by 2. Now both the drop resultant which is called the impedance drop, total impedance drop. So IS into Z by 2, we draw the line, dotted line here. Now here we see that V1 plus total drop which is equal to Vs. Now here is the V1 line and here is the total impedance drop. Resultant of this is line called the Vs. So Vs line we draw. Now total fully phasor diagram is completed. Now with the help of phasor diagram we calculate our medium transmission line data. First we see the VR, a receiving end voltage. A receiving end voltage which is a reference voltage, so that a total voltage VR with a vector value which is equal to the magnitude. So VR which is equal to VR plus J0. Now load current IR. Load current IR with angle of phi r with the reference VR. So IR is equal to IR cos phi r minus J sin phi r in a complex form. Now voltage across the capacitance C. Here voltage across the capacitance C is V1, and V1 which is equal to VR plus drop. Here is the V1 value is greater than the VR and due to the drop. So this drop plus VR which is equal to V1. So here VR plus drop which is equal to V1. So put the value here. Now put the value of IR here and we get the value of voltage across the C. Then capacitive current, a capacitive current IC which is equal to, so any voltage in between capacitance V which is equal to IC into XC. XC means 1 upon omega C. So here voltage which is equal to current by omega C. So current is equal to voltage into omega C. So here we taken this equation, IC is equal to omega C into V1 and omega which is equal to 2 pi f. So put the value of 2 pi f here. So we have a capacitive current equation which is 2 pi f C V1. Now sending end current. Sending end current which is equal to receiving end current plus capacitive current. So IR plus IC. Sending end voltage Vs. Sending end voltage Vs which is equal to V1 plus drop. So V1 plus Is into Z by 2. Put the value of Z which is R plus JXL. So Z by 2 is equal to R by 2 plus JXL by 2. And we get sending end voltage. Now we see the example based on the T method. First of all, a 3-phase 50 Hz overhead transmission line with 100 km long has the following constraint we seen: a resistance per kilometer per phase which is equal to 0.1 ohm, a inductive reactance per kilometer per phase which is 0.2 ohm, a capacitive suspense per kilometer per phase which is 0.04 into 10 raised to minus 4 Siemens. Now determine the sending end current, sending end voltage, sending end power factor and transmission efficiency when supplying a balanced load of 10,000 kilowatt at 66 kilowatt and power factor is 0.8 lagging. Now use nominal T method. So with the help of T method we have to find a sending end current, sending end voltage, sending end power factor and transmission efficiency. First of all, here we see the equivalent circuit of transmission line. So in equivalent circuit, from the equivalent circuit we draw the line phasor diagram. First of all, we draw VR as a reference value and from VR with the angle phi r we draw the line IR. Parallel to IR we draw the line drop into R by 2. So it is IR R by 2. And with the 90 angle to current IR we draw the line IR into XL by 2. With both the drop plus total voltage we draw the line V1. Now current IR we draw the line with the 90 angle of VR current IC and IR plus IC resultant we get IS. And after the value of IS we draw the line of drop here due to R by 2 resistance flowing current IS, and with 90 angle we draw the line of drop due to reactance which is IS into XL by 2, and resultant of this V1 and this drop which is called Vs. So here is the phasor diagram which we have previously discussed. Now in the data given is resistance per kilometer per phase which is 0.1 and inductive 0.2 and capacitive suspense 0.04 into 10 raised to minus 4 Siemens. So it is a per kilometer value. We have a 100 kilometer line, so we multiply 100 with all the data and we get the resistance 10 ohm for the 10 ohm and reactance 20 ohm and suspension 4 into 10 raised to minus 4 Siemens for whole line. And receiving voltage per phase, receiving end voltage which is given 66 kilowatt. So 66 kilowatt which is the line voltage, and we divide by root 3, we get the value of phase voltage which is 38105 volt. And also here receiving end power also given 10,000 kilowatt and receiving end power factor which is 0.8. Now we calculate the sending end current, sending end voltage, sending end power factor and transmission efficiency with the help of T method. Now here we see that a load, first of all we find the load current. So any of the transmission line, if we want to find out a current, so we use a power equation. So here is the receiving end power, so PR which is equal to IR into VR into cos phi R into 10 raised to minus 3. Now from this equation, if we want to find out current IR, so current IR which is equal to PR, so PR which is the receiving end power which is given in the example which is 10,000 into 10 raised to 3 divided by root 3 into our voltage VR which is 66 into 10 raised to 3 and power factor of receiving end which is 0.8. So we get the value of current 109 ampere. Now cos phi R which is equal to 0.8 which is also given. So from the cos phi R we know that phi R which is equal to cos inverse 0.8 and value of phi R we find the sin phi R which is 0.6. Now impedance per phase, impedance which is equal to Z, and Z is equal to R plus JXL, and R is and XL are given, so it is 10 plus J20. Now we calculate with the help of phasor diagram receiving end voltage. So receiving end voltage we taken as a reference, so the angle is 0, so the voltage value, vector value of voltage which is equal to the magnitude which is 38,105 volt. Now load current IR which is equal to IR into cos phi R minus J sin phi R. Now here IR which is 109 ampere, cos phi R which is 0.8, sin phi R which is 0.6. So we get the value of current IR vector which is 87.2 minus J 65.4. Now voltage across the C which is equal to V1 is equal to VR plus IR Z by 2. VR given in our example is 38,105. IR we find out here, and Z which is equal to 10 plus J20. Put all the value and we get the value of V1. Now charging current IC. A charging current IC which is equal to J omega C V1. Omega C which is equal to suspension of our transmission line which is called Y, which is given which is 4 into 10 raised to minus 4. V1 we get the value 39,195 plus J545. Put all the value and we get IC which is equal to minus 0.218 plus J15.6. Now sending in current IS. A sending in current IS which is equal to receiving end current plus capacitive current. So receiving end current already we have and capacitive current we find out. So sum of both the current we get the value IS which is equal to 100 angle of minus 20 degree 47 minute ampere. So magnitude of this sending in current which is 100 ampere. Now sending in voltage Vs which is equal to V1 plus Is Z by 2. So V1 plus Is Z by 2. So put the value of V1 and Is and Z by 2, we get the value of Vs, which is 40,144 angle 1 degree 40 minute volt. Now line value of sending end voltage, if any line value we find out from the phase value, we multiply with the root 3. So here 40145 into root 3, we get the value of line voltage for sending end 69,533 volt and 69.533 kilowatt. Now referring to phasor diagram, we have to find out a sending end power factor. A sending end power factor, which is the angle between sending end voltage and sending end current. So here angle between Vs and Is. We have already angle between Vr and Ir, which is called a phi r value. So we just have to find out this both the angle theta 1 and theta 2. From theta 1 and theta 2, if sum of theta 1 and theta 2, we get the value of phi s, ascending and power factor phi s. So theta 1, which is the angle between Vs and Vr, here we see that, and theta 2, which is the angle between Vr and Is. So we have an equation of Vs and Vr. So from this equation we get the value of Vr and Vs angle, which is 1 degree and 40 minute, and angle between Vr and Is, which is 29 degree and 47 degree. So sum of this both the angle, we get the value of phi s. So theta 1 plus theta 2, which is equal to 31 degree and 27 minute, which is a power factor angle of sending end. So sending end power factor, which is equal to cos phi s. So put the value of angle here and we get 0.853 lagging value. Now sending end power factor, which is equal to 3 into Vs Is cos phi s. So first of all we have to find out transmission efficiency, and transmission efficiency, which is equal to delivered power upon our sending end power. So sending end power and receiving end power, both the value we have to find. A power delivered, which is given in the example, which is 10,000 kilowatt. Now we want to find out sending end power, which is equal to 3 into Vs Is cos phi s. So put the value of Vs Is and cos phi s, we get the value of sending end power, which is at 10,274.105 kilowatt. Now put in the example, put in a transmission efficiency equation a delivered power, which is 10,000, and sending end power, which is 10,273.105 into 100, we get the efficiency 97.34. Next example, we seen here a 3-phase 50 Hz transmission line with 100 km long delivered a 20 megawatt at 0.9 power factor lagging and 110 kilowatt. The resistance and reactance of the line per phase per kilometer are 0.2 ohm and 0.4 ohm respectively, while capacitance admittance is 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 6 Siemens per kilometer per phase. Now calculate the current and voltage at the sending end, efficiency of transmission, use a T method. Here is the same example we have seen. So first of all we draw equivalent circuit, and then equivalent circuit we draw the phasor diagram as we previously discussed. From the phasor diagram we have to calculate the sending end voltage, sending and current, efficiency of transmission. First of all, in the data we see that we have a frequency 50 hertz and 100 kilometer line. So multiply the resistance, reactance and admittance with the 100 and we get the total length, resistance, inductance and admittance. Now we have a 20 megawatt long delivered power, which is means that our receiving end power, and 0.9 power factor, which is receiving end power factor. Now we calculate. Here we see that first of all we show VR which is a 110 kilowatt, means 10 raised to 3, and divide by root 3 we get phase value of VR. Now load current which is equal to delivered power, which is 20 megawatt, divide by voltage which is VR, and into power factor, which is 0.9, and we get 116.6 ampere load current. Now cos phi r, which is given 0.9. From the cos phi r we find sin phi r, which is 0.435. Now taking receiving end voltage as the reference phasor, we have a VR. So VR as a reference, so angle is 0. So value of VR is 63,508 volt, same as the magnitude. Now load current IR, a vector IR which is equal to magnitude IR into cos phi r minus j sin phi r. So put the value cos phi r and sin phi r here and IR value, we get IR 105 minus j 50.7. Now V1 is equal to, from phasor diagram, V1 is equal to VR plus IR into Z by 2. So put the value of VR, IR and Z, we get the V1 value which is 65,572 plus J 1593. Now charging current, a charging current IC which is equal to J admittance into V1. Admittance is also given and V1 we find out. So IC is equal to minus 0.4 plus J 16.4. Now sending end current, a sending end current which is equal to receiving end plus capacitor current. So we have both the value. Sum of the value we get 110 ampere sending end current. Now sending end voltage Vs, which is equal to V1 plus Is into Z by 2 from our phasor diagram. So put all the value here and we get a voltage Vs. Now total losses for the three phase line. Here we find out the efficiency, and for the efficiency which is equal to output upon input, and output is here power delivered and input is power sending. So power delivered upon power sending, and power sending which is equal to the power delivered plus losses. So first we find total line losses. Here total line losses, we know that a resistance is half both the side. So we R by 2 resistance and R by 2 resistance, multiplying with the sending end current square and receiving end current square, we get a total losses. Here is 3 phase line, so multiply with the 3. So we here equation is 3 is square R by 2 plus 3 IR square R by 2. Now put the value of current Is and IR with resistance 10 ohm, and we get the value of line losses 0.770 megawatt. Now line losses plus power delivered, which is power sending. So 20 plus 0.770, we get power sending, and 20 divided by power sending into 100, we get the value of transmission efficiency, which is 96.29%. Now in this lecture we study about T method, and then how we calculate with the help of phasor diagram, and then we see the example on the T method. Now in next lecture we study about the pi method and how we draw the equivalent circuit of pi method, and then help of equivalent circuit we draw the phasor diagram, and with the help of phasor diagram we derive the calculation for the pi method for a medium transmission line, and then we study some example based on the pi method. Thank you.